Peace, family. It's Brother Kair. Tonight I'm in a kickback situation. I'm just laid back. I've had a long week, a good productive long week. Today's Friday the 18th, 2009, which is the second 9 of the month. Alright, so 1 and 8 is 9. Tonight my topic is something that I wanted to sit down and talk to you about, because y'all need to get comfortable for this situation, for the males and the females. Everybody can get something out of it, but this situation, I'm going to have to talk to you men, and you're going to have to take some more responsibility for this topic, and it is the male orgasm. The second part of this conversation tonight will be polyamorous relationship, or just polyamory in general. I want to talk about the male orgasm first, because that's a taboo subject. You think it's bad that 78, 85% of women are not having orgasms. What about 90, 95% of all men are having too many orgasms? Did you know that the male orgasm is full of zinc? And what is zinc? What does zinc do? Zinc controls the memory, which is a mental faculty. After the age of 30, the brain does not reproduce zinc at the same capacity that it did when it was 18 or 23 or 24 or anything like that. So that's why a lot of men suffer from prostate cancer, as well as senility, can't remember, senile, when they get older. And you can tell that they've had some bad sexual practices. Masturbating too much, too many orgasms, not regulating their own semen retention, no knowledge of internal ejaculation for men, or man having an internal orgasm, which comes up the spine and happens in the brain or in other parts of the body. Men, this is very important, because we are the soldiers and the backbone of the family. But if you have poor sexual habits and cannot control your own male orgasm, you're going to have a lot more difficulty in achieving what you're looking for. The jing is your sexual energy, which is located right around the testicle area. The next is your chi, which is your life force energy. You notice how the sexual energy is on top. It supports the life force energy. And then the shen, S-H-E-N, your spiritual energy, mental energy. But they're all supported. Sexual energy, life force, spiritual energy. Low sex force or no sex force, low life force, low spiritual energy. You cannot have a high spiritual energy without having a strong magnetic sexual energy, man. So, when you tell your woman tonight or tomorrow, hey boo, I want to have sex with you, I want to make love to you, but I don't want to have an orgasm. You put her in front of YouTube and let her watch this conversation that I'm having. Because there are too many of our women in relationships carrying around false myths that if we have sex, my man is supposed to have an orgasm just like me. He may have blue balls. Blue balls is a myth. I challenge anybody to leave it in the comment section where there's some scientific evidence of a man not having an orgasm every time he has sex as being a bad thing. Or anyway, what kind of medical diagnosis is that anyway? Because he didn't have an orgasm. Now something's going to be wrong with him. No, he's going to be weak if he continues to have these orgasms. And he's going to be easily manipulated. And some women, unfortunately, use this to their advantage. But if that man was to maintain his erection, not have an orgasm, and let his woman have as many orgasms as she wanted or possibly could handle, that relationship would turn into something dynamic and just out of this world. there's a book called The Tao of Sexology. The formula they give for men having orgasms is take your age and multiply it by 20%. 20% of, let's say, a 40-year-old man is 8, so it'll be 8 days. A 20-year-old man times 40% will be every 4 days, because that gives the brain enough chance to catch up in its reproduction of zinc. So if you're not taking any nutritional supplements for your zinc and your magnesium and your multivitamins and so forth, but you are having an overzealous sexual appetite and you're not concerned about your retention of your own semen, and you think drinking Red Bull and energy drinks and taking Viagra and extends is the answer, it's not the answer. A glass of wine, all those things, they aren't the answer. You don't have to have an orgasm every time. Sometimes men are embarrassed to tell you that they don't want to have sex tonight because they're not impotent all the time. They're impotent that night because maybe they are stressed out in a productive, that the pressure that women put on men to come in and do some type of performance. Sex is spiritual, not performance. Okay? Sex is spiritual, not performance. Which leads me to polyamorous, which love is spiritual, not performance. Okay? Love cannot be put in a box. So a polyamorous relationship, which everyone really is, honestly, is when you have more than one love interest. Normally it's looked at as saying, he cheated on me or she cheated on me. She had another love interest. She's polyamorous. Now, is she honest about it, or is he honest about it? Maybe not. And it could be misconstrued as dishonest or cheating. What should you do? Be honest about your feelings, because your heart is what's going to be the judge of what God judges in your last days, not what others think of you. Okay? So, being polyamorous, please know that information that I gave you about the male orgasm. Because even if you're a female in a polyamorous relationships with 1, 2, or 3, or 4 mates, you are doing them a disservice by not giving them enlightenment to the information about not having an orgasm every time they have sex. Men, if you are in a polyamorous relationship, whether the women know about each other or not, and you are trying to have sex with 4 women in 1 week, you're going to be in trouble. She's not going to have to catch you or anything like that, but your energy level is going to be so low. Women are very intuitive like that. So don't play yourself. Women, don't play yourself and think that because you know these things about men, but you are being dishonest and not informing them, you are hurting us as a nation. You are hurting us as a family. You are hurting the children by that man not being able to receive support. Brothers, tell your woman that you need support in this. Go get Montauk Chia's book, Cultivating Male Sexual Energy, Cultivating Female Sexual Energy. Sunyata Saraswati has a book called The Jewel in the Lotus. Go get these books. Go just Google internal orgasms or internal ejaculations for men, or seminal retention. It's very important. Cut down the prostate cancer, cut down the senility, expand the spirituality, expand your loving capabilities. There'll be more on this later. I hope you all enjoy. Go make love. Peace.